Welcome everybody to this training. It's a pleasure to have you on the call today, and I'm looking forward to spending the next couple of hours talking to you about a very important topic in clinical research, and it's lovely to have so many of you on the call from so many different countries and different time zones. As I go through the training, it's important that you listen and pay attention to the training. I know it's really challenging sometimes. You get a bit distracted by other work or activities that are going on. It is important that you guys get the most out of the next couple of hours that we're going to spend together, especially considering, although this might be a dry topic, it's an important topic for all of us to really understand. There will be a number of knowledge checks that we will review together during the training, and you'll be required to respond with correct answers, which will emphasize the need for you to listen to what's going on and take a look at your screens at the information there. During the training, I will be referring to a couple of references that you were provided, and I will show you the actual addendum itself so that you can begin to get familiar with the document. Rather than just the training slides, you'll know exactly where to find it. I'm going to move through the slides, and you should be able to see a little pointer on the screen which shows you what I'm talking about. So we're going to have a quick welcome and introduction. We'll go through our learning objectives, and then we'll look at a small amount of background around ICH GCP, and then think about why has it changed, what has influenced this recent update to the guideline. Then we're going to spend some time going through an overview of what the changes are and a detailed review of each change and what the impact is for us in the clinical research industry. And then finally, we'll begin to close as we talk about what is it we need to do to succeed to make sure we're compliant with these changes. And then we'll review our objectives and close the training. I just want to point you here, where relevant, I have included some screenshots of the actual addendum text just to make it as applicable as possible to you, so that you can visualize the context of the training within ICH GCP itself. So starting with a very quick introduction. First of all, I'll introduce myself. So I'm Debbie Harper. In case you hadn't guessed, I'm from the UK. I'm based in the UK, and I have many years of experience in the pharmaceutical industry. I've been fortunate to work for both big pharma companies, small biotech, and CROs. And not only have I spent a long time leading different operational departments, but I've also, throughout my tenure over the last 20 plus years, I've spent a long time developing and delivering regulatory training, project management training, and other clinical research related courses. And I have lots of hands-on experience, not only designing protocols and monitoring studies, but also leading them and advising others how to lead them. So that's a little bit about me. We're going to consider what is it that you're going to get from these precious 2 hours of your time. Well, first of all, it's important to understand why there was an addendum to ICH GCP. What caused these changes that had significant impact for investigators, sponsors, and CROs. We're going to learn about the new terms that are updated within the guideline and identify the new sections that comprise the overall addendum. And when I refer to the addendum during the training, I may sometimes call it E6R2, and I'll explain what that is in a minute. And then finally, I think, and most importantly, we're going to bring it all together with an understanding of why is it important in our roles in medical, project management, ClinOps, QA. Why is it so important that we understand the impact of these changes, and what do we actually do about them? And that's where I'll be calling on you to give me some feedback about maybe questions that you have about implementation, or where you are in your organizations or personally in terms of implementing some of those changes. So let's move on then to the first section. We're going to think about ICH GCP. So when I talk about ICH GCP E6, E6 actually stands for Efficacy Topic Number 6, which is the ICH guideline number. The first version of E6, or Efficacy Topic 6, was first introduced in 1996, and the addendum, which is termed R2, was implemented in 2016. So if you are looking at a copy of ICH GCP that has 1996 written on it with R1, you're looking at the old version. It needs to say R2 Addendum, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then let's just quickly refresh together the definition of GCP as an international, ethical and scientific quality standard for designing, conducting, recording and reporting trials that involve the participation of human subjects. And compliance with ICH GCP provides public assurance that the rights, safety and well-being of subjects is protected and that the clinical trial data are credible. And remember that ICH GCP has its principles based on the Declaration of Helsinki.